atmosphere of calm, tolerance, and mutual respect. The president appealed to political parties, candidates, and their supporters to avoid violence, inflammatory statements, and any action that would undermine the credibility of the electoral process. He cautioned against high-handedness, intimidation, or any acts that could disenfranchise voters or erode public trust, stressing that security personnel are present to protect lives, property, and the sanctity of the ballot. Tinubu assured that his administration will continue to support institutions responsible for delivering free, fair, and credible elections. He also urged INEC to take all necessary measures to bolster voters' confidence by ensuring timely accreditation, smooth voting processes, accurate collation, and prompt transmission of results in line with the 2026 Electoral Act. INEC will conduct elections across the 6 area councils of the FCT, involving 1,680,315 registered voters across 2,822 polling units, alongside by-elections in Rivers and Kano states. The federal government has expressed concern over rising debt servicing costs, blaming steep interest rates charged by international lenders rather than weak debt sustainability indicators. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, made this known while responding to questions from the Senate Committee on Appropriation during deliberations on the proposed 51.8 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill. Edun was reacting to concerns raised by Senator Mukail Abiru over Nigeria's rising debt profile, estimated at about 15 trillion naira. He maintained that developing countries face disproportionately high borrowing costs in global markets, which significantly drive up debt servicing obligations. He also reiterated the need for structural reforms in the global financial system, including support for the establishment of an African credit rating agency to ensure fairer risk assessments for African economies. Also speaking, Chairman of the Nigeria Revenue Service, Zak Adedeji, attributed funding gaps in previous budgets to unrealistic revenue projections. In the meantime, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriation, Olamileko Adeola, said the interactive session forms part of ongoing legislative scrutiny of the 2026 budget as lawmakers examine debt management strategies, oil revenue forecasts, and measures to improve fiscal performance.
The number one topic, and we have experts, global experts from around the world, even somebody who was my manager when I was at the World Bank. And the number one topic is that not so much is debt sustainability. And why? Because of the pricing. It is not that the debt to GDP ratio is too high or is not in line with fiscal responsibility or with, it's not that it's not in line with the regulations. It is that the pricing, the interest rate that the developing country as a whole are forced to pay in the international market is where the difficulty comes from. And there's a hue and cry around the world that something must be done about a high price of debt so that the high debt servicing costs can come down. I'll deal with the issue of variable rates shortly, but no less a personality than His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has dived in to that all-important area and called for an African credit rating agency. He's calling for affordable financing. Once you have affordable financing, you're home and dry. So the issue of
for the commendation, I just want to put it in perspective. And the perspective is that when economy works, it works for everybody. And that is what we've seen. It's just as a result of the reform being led by Mr. President that we have exchange rate down, we have inflation down, But the crux of the matter, which is what I hear from all conversation here, is that why is budget not being funded? And the answer is also in this room. It is what I think, by God's grace, we will correct this year. Budget funding comes from realistic budgets. And we need to understand that. And that is where we started from. And I've preached this. Budget efficiency is not in the quantum of the budget. It is in the amount you can carry out. And I will put
giving us a detailed breakdown of the entire 15.19 trillion. But before then, speak to the budget performance of the previous year, which is that of 2025. And from there, we dovetail into 2026. And among other issues relating to the government policies, programs, objectives, which have been expressed in a numerical terms called the budget estimate, and see how far we have gone as an administration, and also what is left to be attended to, and how the Committee on Appropriation can intervene on some of these challenges confronting the nation's budgets.
Now, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, has raised concerns over the persistent non-release and inadequate allocation of funds, warning that the situation is undermining critical justice sector reforms. Speaking while presenting the 2026 budget proposal of the Federal Ministry of Justice before the House of Representatives Committee on Justice in Abuja, Fagbemi said the ministry's mandate is driven by the National Policy on Justice 2024 and its Strategic Plan 2023 to 2027, in line with the justice sector roadmap under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda. He noted that although the ministry recorded milestones in criminal justice reforms, counter-terrorism, asset recovery, and efforts to exit the Financial Action Task Force grey list, funding shortfalls have significantly hampered implementation. Fagbemi disclosed that while the ministry achieved 82% performance in overhead releases, receiving 6.67 billion naira out of 7.49 billion naira appropriated, it recorded only 12% performance in capital expenditure, with 869.6 million naira issued out of 6.74 billion naira and not cash backed. He further lamented that no funds were released for 2025 capital projects, stressing that the challenge cuts across sectors. The minister proposed 23.68 billion naira for the ministry's 2026 budget, covering personnel, overhead, and capital costs. Responding, the chairman of the House Committee on Justice, Olumide Oshoba, assured that the committee would rigorously scrutinize the estimates and strengthen oversights to ensure justice sector reforms are not stalled by inadequate funding.
I wish to commend the distinguished leadership and members of the 10th National Assembly for the legislative support towards the nation building which the Federal Ministry of Justice and indeed the executive arm has enjoyed since inception. This underscores the fact that members of the National Assembly place high premium on the advancement of administration of justice in their country. Distinguished members of this committee, permit me to express deep gratitude of the Ministry of Justice and its parastatals for the understanding and support which this committee extended to all justice sector institutions to support the implementation of their various mandates. Indeed, your support has proved quite pivotal to the remarkable achievement the ministry recorded from 2025 till date. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I'm here to report that we have prepared a brief which has been circulated detailing the performance of the ministry's 2025 budget, as well as providing the basis for the budget proposal for 2026, which is aimed at deepening ongoing justice sector reforms.
The Committee on Justice is constitutionally mandated with the oversight of the Ministry of Justice and its agencies, including the Nigerian Corporate Commission and the Council of Legal Education. Our responsibilities are threefold: to conduct rigorous legislative oversight, ensuring that the implementation of laws aligns with legislative intent and serves the public good; to undertake detailed budgetary review, scrutinizing proposals to guarantee the prudent allocation and efficient utilization of national resources; 4, to provide policy guidance, shaping legal reforms and initiatives that fortify the foundations of our justice system. Our authority to conduct this scrutiny is firmly rooted in Section 88(1) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which empowers the National Assembly to investigate and conduct affairs and administration of funds within the executive branch.
Away from that, the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee probing power sector reforms has criticized the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, over an alleged 80-20 electricity distribution formula said to favor the Federal Capital Territory at the expense of Kogi, Niger, and Nasarawa states. During an oversight visit to the company's headquarters in Abuja, lawmakers described the reported allocation pattern as discriminatory and economically harmful to affected states, citing persistent complaints of prolonged outages and poor service delivery. The committee stressed that electricity supply within a franchise area must be equitable and not driven solely by revenue considerations, especially in a sector that has benefited from substantial public intervention since the 2025 or the 2005 unbundling and privatization exercise. Responding, AEDC Managing Director Chijoke Okonkenye denied any deliberate bias, but acknowledged supply disparities, attributing them to energy theft, weak infrastructure, low revenue recovery, and mounting customer debts. He said the FCT remains the company's strongest revenue base, influencing allocation decisions necessary to sustain operations, while noting ongoing efforts to improve infrastructure and reduce losses. Lawmakers also queried the company overestimated billing, prepaid meter rollout, and loans obtained through interventions by the Central Bank of Nigeria, expressing dissatisfaction that billions injected into the sector have not translated into improved supply. The panel further directed AEDC to submit detailed records on power allocation, intervention funds, and loan repayments, and to reappear alongside the Transmission Company of Nigeria as the probe continues.
If there are clauses that allow, you understand, for that, because like you are facing this as a full business entity venture to just make money. If you have a large sway of area that you service as disco, because I understand you extend up to part of Niger State and Kogi. From this year, I can see the map vividly. If 80% of your concentration is to be in Abuja, do you think it will be proper for me as a representative of all Nigerians to admit that and be comfortable with it? Say you, because of the business interests, you are concentrating in servicing only 80%, or in servicing only 20%.
That the end users or the consumers are satisfied with your service so far. I can answer you with capital letter that no. Despite you covered about 80% in Abuja, I represent Lokoja, which is state capital. About 2 days ago, the youth went to protest because of poor service. I personally called them to order that it's not necessary that they should go for engagement and discuss with the new MD, one Desmond or so.
In methodology of billing, where we are regulated, highly regulated now by even the state regulators, upon which the energy consumed as attributed by various models were capped on the specific numbers that a feeder can be billed. We do not exceed these numbers, we stay within it. And for emphasis, what is capping? Capping is a way of keeping the DISCO from overbilling the customers that are unmetered. May I quickly also mention that AADC today, we are the highest in terms of number of prepaid meters installed, and we are still doing more presently.
Staying with the House of Representatives, the chairman of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Akin Rotimi, has sponsored a one-year health insurance coverage for members of the House of Representatives Press Corps under the Federal Capital Territory Health Insurance Scheme. The symbolic presentation of identity cards at the National Assembly complex marked what stakeholders described as a milestone in improving journalists' welfare and advancing universal health coverage. Rotimi said the gesture reflects the commitment of the 10th Assembly and the leadership of Speaker Bas Tajuddin to strengthen engagement with the media and support reporters who cover legislative activities. He encouraged beneficiaries to prioritize preventive health care, stressing that journalists must remain healthy to effectively perform their watchdog role. Mandate Secretary of the FCT Health Services and Environment Secretariat, Dalapo Fashawe, described the intervention as a visionary step in expanding access to quality health care under the 22,500 Naira annual premium scheme. Lawmakers, including Chike Okafor, commended the initiative as historic. Chairperson of the FCT Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Grace Ike, however, said improved welfare would boost professionalism and accountability. Chairman of the Press Corps, Boyega Onodiran, also noted that the program demonstrates how collaboration between legislative leaders, health authorities, and the media can shield families from catastrophic health costs and strengthen democratic governance.
So I would want to encourage every one of us to take advantage of what it is that the Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin-led House of Representatives has done. For the women, your breast cancer screening, cervical cancer screening. For men, you want to do your prostate screening. You want to do your annuals and take them very seriously. You do a lot of work. And I know sometimes up until 9, 10 in the night, they take a lot of time doing this work. And sometimes you just get home, you're tired. You don't prioritize yourself, trying to ensure that you are doing your constitutional mandate. But sometimes you have to look out for yourself.
With just 25,000, that's what I think I had. 22,500,000, you will enjoy free health care for the next 12 months. Now, what actually got me attracted, beyond the fact that I understand what health insurance is all about, in the 8th Assembly, I chaired the Committee on Health Care Services, and we oversighted the then National Health Insurance, NHIS, and of course the FCT, FHIS. So I understand what it means. Between 2016 and 2019, in my constituency alone, I paid and covered over 12,000 lives.
And we strongly believe that where leaders start and the successor takes over, it's only very important that the successor builds on what the predecessor was working on. Your support reinforces the message that healthcare should be inclusive and accessible to all. Distinguished guests, honorable colleagues, Nigeria is steadily advancing towards the goal of universal health coverage, a system where every citizen has access to quality healthcare services without suffering financial hardship. Today's initiative is a practical step in that direction.
It demonstrates that achieving universal health coverage requires partnership, commitment, and deliberate action.
Call on other leaders, institutions, and kind-hearted Nigerians to emulate this worthy example by distinguished Honorable Akin Rotimi. With just 22,500 per individual per year, anyone can enroll a person into the FCT health insurance scheme and give them access to quality healthcare services. I would like to thank the chairman of the press corps and other executives who gave us unalloyed support to achieve this great idea.
Let this investment in our well-being translate into renewed dedication to excellence. To the House leadership, I say thank you for leading by example. To my colleagues in the House of Reps Press Corps, we set the pace. Let us continue to rise to the moment and justify this confidence placed in us. Nigeria depends on a strong legislature, and at this time, Nigeria also depends on a responsible media. Democracy thrives when the media is healthy and alive to its responsibility. So, working together with the legislature, we can strengthen our democracy.
Moving on, the Bureau of Public Procurement says ongoing procurement reforms have saved the federal government 1.1 trillion naira between January and December 2022, or 2025 rather. Director General of the Bureau, Adebowale Adedoko, disclosed this while defending the agency's 2026 budget proposal before the Senate Committee on Public Procurement. He noted that beyond the savings, the reforms have reduced contract approval processing time, strengthened sanctions against erring contractors and public officials, and improved overall efficiency in government procurement. Adedoko further revealed that the Bureau received 4.032 billion naira in its 2025 budget and is seeking increased allocation for 2026 to enhance service delivery, generate employment, and intensify the fight against corruption, in line with the agenda of President Bola Tinubu. Earlier, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Procurement, Olajide Ikpinshagba, underscored the importance of the Bureau to Nigeria's socio-economic development. Ikpinshagba, however, assured the agency of the committee's support and urged its management to ensure prudent and transparent use of allocated funds.
The Bureau embarked on sweeping procurement reforms since November 2024. These reforms have resulted in reduction in the processing time of approvals for government contracts, additional savings, and enhanced sanctions for erring contractors and even government officials. Some of the reforms are as follows. 1. The introduction of price intelligence mechanism by the Bureau has saved federal government a cumulative sum of 1.1 trillion between January 1 and December 2025. 2. After several stalled attempts since 2007, federal government has deployed a development policy that now penalizes non-performing and dishonest contractors and prevents them from participating in public procurement proceedings. 3. The revision of approval threshold to fast-track procurement and enhance budget implementation and promote ease of doing business. 4. A revision of policy guidelines.
The PPP occupies a central and sensitive position within our governance and physical framework. As the regulatory authority of the public procurement in Nigeria, your mandate directly imparts service delivery, infrastructure development, investors' confidence, and public trust in government spending. Therefore, The committee takes this session with utmost seriousness. Distinguished officials, the 2026 fiscal year comes with heightened expectations. Nigerians demand greater efficiency and procurement processes, stronger compliance with established regulations, reduce procurement-related delays.
Now, the coalition of civil society organizations has urged the National Assembly to immediately publish the final version of the Electoral Act 2026 as signed into law to ensure transparency, legal clarity, and broad stakeholder engagement. Co-convener and founder of TAF Africa, Jake Epele, made the call while briefing journalists in Abuja. He described the new law as imperfect and incomplete, warning that it leaves loopholes and creates new barriers to political participation. Epele said the act represents a missed opportunity for far-reaching electoral reform. He also expressed concern over Section 84, which restricts political parties to only direct primaries or consensus for candidate nominations, eliminating indirect primaries. Epele further noted that removing indirect primaries reduces flexibility and could expose parties to risks such as vote buying under direct primaries or undue influence in consensus arrangements. The coalition also called on the Independent National Electoral Commission to urgently publish a revised timetable for the 2027 general election, in line with the new 300-day notice requirement introduced in the Electoral Act 2026. The spokesperson of the House of Representatives, Akin Rotimi, however, addressed concerns surrounding the amendments and result transmission protocols. He stated that the Act mandates electronic transmission of results with manual transmission permitted only as a fallback where necessary, adding that strict penalties are in place for returning officers who fail to transmit results within the stipulated time frame. Rotimi also noted that the new law requires all aspirants to formally sign off on consensus outcomes, a move he said strengthens transparency in candidate selection. He further disclosed that INEC now has the flexibility to adjust election timelines to mitigate voter apathy during major religious observances with the aim of improving turnout.
The Electoral Act 2026 is now law. It is imperfect. It is incomplete. It leaves dangerous loopholes open and erects new barrier to participation. But it is also the legal framework within which 2027 election will be conducted. And it is our responsibility as citizens, media, civil society, etc., to ensure that the election conducted under the law are credible, transparent, inclusive, and reflective of the will of Nigerians.
Again, I know that we've hyperfixated and it's necessary on 63, right? But civil society, please, we encourage you to also educate Nigerians on other provisions of the Act which have, also strengthened the process. For example, you would see that previously, what you had as consensus was such that some people could sit down somewhere and just decide on the consensus candidate without, those that are contested. But now, in the law that has been passed, it makes it mandatory for every single aspirant to sign formally that he agrees to the outcome of any consensus, agreement. The grievance is also expressly.
call my husband Mr. Ajayi.
Yes.
No more tears, Auntie Fiona.
What matters is that you have to sign here, so I can become your manager and be entitled to 50% of all your earnings.
50?
What did you do? What did you do?
Hey, look, the gang leader warned me not to involve the police.
Enough is enough!
Enough is enough!
Amanda, what's going on here? Why do you have your things scattered all over the place? Your slippers on my bed? How much would I give you for a night?
Are you mad?
Esther, you know they even they lock your door. Okay!
You're a thief.
Mother
Now that Victoria friend will get big front and back. So I started look, they go. I just.
The remaining 2 minutes, not for you.
What's going you money? Calm down. You should have thought about that before going to buy a phone that you cannot afford.
I will bite you if I not giving me my money, be lightness. But
this is okay. I like the way you say Vicky. I even like the way you do Vicky. Can you do it again? Vicky.
Face to face is another way of life for this country.
Marhaba bika ya Ramadan. Ma'ala bika ya Ramadan. Wa sa'alam bika ya Ramadan. Marhaba bika ya Ramadan.
Ya farata dini ya Ramadan. Ya khuratal ainu lil ihsan. Ataila lukalila kiwan. Ala niha yatimi shaban. Loaded.com.
Gbogbo ayé ló ń po kìkì rẹ̀.
Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan. Gbogbo ayé ló ń po kìkì rẹ̀. Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan.
Múmi náà ń po kìkì rẹ̀.
Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan. Ní Saudi wọ́n ń po kìkì rẹ̀. Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan.
Àwọn tá Amẹ́ríkà ń po kìkì rẹ̀.
Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan. Nínú India wọ́n ń po kìkì rẹ̀. Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan.
Gbogbo China ló ń po kìkì rẹ̀ o.
Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan. Ní Canada wọ́n ń po kìkì rẹ̀. Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan.
Gbogbo Europe wọ́n ń po kìkì rẹ̀.
Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan. Asian countries wọ́n ń po kìkì rẹ̀. Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan.
Gbogbo Africans wọ́n ń po kìkì rẹ̀.
Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan. Nigerians ń po kìkì rẹ̀. Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan.
Tàwùsà tí Igbo ń po kìkì rẹ̀ o.
Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan. Àwa Yorùbá ń po kìkì rẹ̀. Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan.
Gbogbo àgbáyé ń kí ẹ káàbọ̀.
Mọ̀ríà bábíkà ya Ramadan. Ọlọ́run wọlá Ramadan yìí lómi jẹ́ mi nù sẹ́kùn mi dẹ̀rín kàmí má wẹ̀rú tó ṣì kẹrẹ̀ láàyè wá foríjì mi kó kẹ́mi bódà láìra wọlá orúkọ rẹ̀ láìláìláwà.
ṣoore fún mi lásìkò èyí tí ó yẹ mí. Kọ̀tà máa sọ pé ọlọ́run mi dà láyé mi. Fún mi lẹ́mìí gígùn pẹ̀lú àlàáfíà ara. Jẹ́ ń rówó ná kí má ṣẹ̀rùn ẹgbẹ́ láyé o. Àrísùkú ní aláhùn yá àrùnzá kú.
Ọlọ́run wọlá Ramadan yìí lómi jẹ́ mi inú sẹ́kùn mi dẹ̀rín. Kàmí máa wẹ̀rú tó ṣì gẹ̀rẹ̀ láàyè. Wá foríjì mi kó kẹ́mi bó dà láìra. Wọlá orúkọ rẹ̀ láìláìláìlá. Ẹ̀yin alánú tẹ́ ń ṣàánú mẹ̀kúnnù. Ó dọ̀wọ́ yín, àní ó dọ̀wọ́ yín. Ẹ má ṣe jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ yín rárá. Ẹ náwó yín lójú ọ̀nà làlàyé. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ṣe rántí pé Ọlọ́run ló ń ṣẹ̀san oore o. Àlìjọ̀nà yín lẹ́ ó ti wá gbẹ̀san oore. Ọlọ́run wọlá Ramadan yìí lómi jẹ́ mi inú sẹ́kùn mi dẹ̀rín. Kàmí máa wẹ̀rú tó ṣì gẹ̀rẹ̀ láàyè. Wá foríjì mi kó kẹ́mi bó dà láìra. Wọlá orúkọ rẹ̀ láìláìláìlá.
Àfọ̀wé ibẹ̀ ọlọ́run ọba yálẹ̀ tí fún wá síjú àánú orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Atrocity wa àpọ̀jù àforíjì wa o. Àtolórí àtẹlẹmù ẹrú ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ gbogbo wa. Wá foríjì wa.
Welcome back to the primetime news on MITV. We apologize for the breaking transmission. Now, still on politics, the All Progressives Congress APC in Lagos State has screened 27 aspirants from each of the 20 local government areas in the state ahead of its local government congress scheduled to hold tomorrow. The screening exercise took place at the APC State Secretariat in Ogba, Lagos, with members of the Local Government Area Ward Congress Committee overseeing the progress. The chairman of the Local Government Area Ward Congress Committee, Mongji Salama, said the exercise was conducted smoothly and emphasized that consensus arrangement would be respected where stakeholders agree. He noticed that the list of qualified candidates will be published after the screening and that those cleared would participate in the Congress. According to him, aspirants who do not make the list should remain committed to the party. In his opening remarks, Lagos APC Chairman Cornelius Ojalabi said the screening marked the final stage of preparations for the Local Government Area Congress, and Ojalabi stated that the APC remains committed to transparency in its internal processes, claiming it is the only political party that invites the Independent National Electoral Commission and members of the press to observe its congresses. He stressed the importance of compliance with the Electoral Act, particularly for those who would oversee party structures at the local government area level.
27 executives from each LGA, and for 27 positions, 27 persons, 27 positions. Today's exercise is very germane. Without today's exercise, we will not have tomorrow exercise. It's a condition precedent for tomorrow exercise. And we really appreciate all the committees set up here in the state to assist in one way or the other for the smooth running of this exercise.
So those of you, after the release of the screening, that are able to be cleared by this very powerful team, I want to congratulate you in advance. And at the same time, if eventually, by this time of tomorrow, if you're able to weather the storm and you're elected, I want you to realize that it is a call to service. It's a call to service for you to deepen our democracy.
In a recent development, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASAN, has kicked against the federal government's executive order mandating direct remittance of oil and gas revenues to the Federation account. The union warned that the policy could undermine investor confidence and destabilize the industry. PENGASAN President Festus Osifo, who announced the union's stance on the new executive order to newsmen in Lagos, said the directive contradicts key provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA) and could trigger industrial unrest and potential job losses. He stated that executive order cannot override the law, arguing that the move cannot supersede an act of the National Assembly. PENGASAN warned that the policy could affect thousands of workers across the sector if implemented without review. Osifo said there are nearly 4,000 Nigerians working in affected operations, and if this continues, redundancies could occur and industrial crises may follow.
Government account. So there are provisions there that are not correct. So we think that with immediate effect, the president should recall that executive order, have a second look at it. Because we know that the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has done everything possible to attract investment to the oil and gas industry. We cannot use one single executive order to set aside all the good work that the president has, embarked upon since he assumed office, as far as the oil and gas industry is concerned. So this is quite troubling, this is quite alarming, and we want the president to act fast, because not doing this is going to jeopardize the gains that we have made since the PIA was enacted in August 2021.
Now, bordered by the problems posed by quackery and quacks in real estate practice, registered estate agents have vowed to embark on aggressive measures to face the problems of quackery in the sector. Towards this direction, registered estate agents said they would embark on elaborate awareness programs with members of the public to intimate residents of Lagos State of registered estate members in each localities across Lagos. The Lagos State Chairman of Estate Rent and Commission Agents Association of Nigeria, ERCAAN, Kasim Additional, stated this in Lagos on Friday while speaking in an interview on the measures being taken to fish out quacks who have continued to tarnish the image of estate agents registered with the Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority. Additional said ERCAAN will actively combat quackery in the real estate sector by identifying, exposing, and reporting unqualified individuals and unregistered estate agents who defraud the public by collaborating with government authorities to professionalize the industry, urging the public to use registered agents to avoid fraudulent transactions such as stolen fees and fake documents. He disclosed that ERCAN has over the years advocated for stronger regulations, including mandatory training, certification, and identification to distinguish professionals from imposters.
What we are doing mostly is this. We are telling our zones, the formation of ACAN is, we have unit, we have zone, we have the state, and we have the national. So we are telling our zone is like a grassroots, the local area. We are saying that our members should not patronize non-registered member. If you are not registered and you bring the property for them, they should say no, I don't work with unregistered estate agents. By the time we are shunning them, not doing business with them, they will be forced to come and do what? Register. Because they will know that means I want to drive them away from the job. That is one. Secondly, we are telling the CDAs, when I say the CDAs, the landlords in their community, that when your properties are vacant, don't just entertain any G-Canary that call itself so-called agent to come and handle your property for you, or they can put you in problem. Like I've said before, that case scenario that I've said before, not doing due diligence, getting armed robber or this thing to an apartment. When the wahala comes, the first of all say landlord says, so I have an agent. You understand? So all these things that when anybody want to come and do business for them, to advertise the property for them, they should ask, are you a member of ACAN? If he's not a member of ACAN, please drive him away. We are doing that one with the CDs and even CDS. So these are areas that we want to eliminate, we want to reduce quackery to the barest minimum because they are giving us headache. They are tarnishing our made. Look at the area of agreement and commission that the negotiators were protesting that no estate agent. I want to tell you that most of these people who are doing this are quacks because the reason is that they don't have a standard of practice. Their own is that they just call charges anyhow as their problem is the amount of problem they have, they put it on. And when the negotiators want to talk, they say they commonize everybody together, and this has been giving us bad image. So we also address in that area. Even there was a time we went on social media to tell them that ACAN is a professional body that has a standard of practice, just like the SS of Land Valuers. You don't go beyond that, and if you go beyond that, they report you to us. It's a body that is disciplined. We discipline you, even when suspend you as a member. We don't want anybody to tarnish our name. Because we have built this record, this image, as far back as over 30-something years ago. So we don't want somebody to come overnight and come and... So in that area, we are doing our best. Although our best is not enough, because we still need to put on more effort. Because quackery is just increasing every day. And there's no way you don't fight quack. Go to police, you see quack. Go to internal revenue, you see quack. Go to... you see quack. So there are short ways of survival.
In a relentless effort to eradicate the abuse of drugs in various communities in Lagos State, a non-governmental organization, King Ogunremi Foundation, has intensified its fight by taking its awareness campaign to key traditional and security authorities in its Itire community, seeking stronger collaboration to combat the growing menace among youths. The founder of the foundation, King Ogunremi, while speaking with journalists, stressed the urgent need for collective action to safeguard the future of Itire youths, describing drug abuse as a growing social concern, contributing to crime, school dropouts, violence, and declining moral standards within the community. He emphasized that the campaign is focused on saving lives, restoring hope, and mobilizing community-wide participation to confront the problem. Onitire of Itire Land, Oba Tajuddin Ishola Odubiyi, commended the foundation for its proactive initiative in ensuring that youths of the community live a meaningful life void of drug abuse while pledging royal support for the campaign. He underscored the importance of community-based solutions and encouraged parents, religious leaders, and educational institutions to work together in educating young people about the dangers of illicit drug use.
Research, 6.5% of secondary school children are actively involved in substance abuse. So we have to take this action on time before it gets late, because we think the children are our future of tomorrow. But with this menace, we are not certain of tomorrow. So we have to try now and prevent our children, help those ones that have been addicted, and let's see how we can make a change in the community.
It's going to be of a very great benefit for even those that are abroad to want to come in and be happy that, oh, I'm Itire brought up. So, to an extent, the King Ogunremi Foundation, in collaborations with NDLA and the paramount chiefs, the kings and the police people, will be able to achieve. But we are bringing this campaign, War Against Drug and War Against the Drug Abuse, and then campaign against illicit drug abuse too. So it's a whole package.
Many children nowadays, they don't want to learn any trade. They don't want to do anything reasonable again. But with him coming to this community, coming to Nigeria, coming to this Lagos to establish the foundation, I have seen a drastic change in midst of our youth. You come to my shop now, you see many youths that we have engaged in doing the barbering work. So my brother, it's a good movement. I commend him for that.
In other news, a non-governmental organization, the Legit Foundation, has called on Nigerians to extend hands of fellowship to the needy and vulnerable in their communities. The convener of the Legit Foundation, Francis Chima, popularly known as Omobaka, who began the humanitarian outreach 15 years ago, encouraged all well-meaning Nigerians to consistently support the less privileged in their respective areas. Chima made the appeal in Ajeromi Ifelodo Federal Constituency of Lagos State while joining Muslims and Christians observing the fasting and Lenten seasons, where he shared in acts of charity and community support. He stressed that peace and unity remain essential ingredients for community development, noting that where love and harmony prevail, killings, hatred, and suffering would have no place. Omobaka said embracing peace and promoting togetherness would foster a safer and more progressive society for all. Some of the beneficiaries who participated in the breaking of fast and Lenten observances expressed appreciation for the gesture, highlighting the importance of showing love and extending support to those in need.
We should continue doing good. There is nothing like good. Anything than good is excellent. Anything than excellent, it is more excellent. Good is good. Good don't have true name. Just keep doing good. You are up to me, you are above me, you want to look like Omobaka. That position you are, just start from there. Doing good. You don't have to get like Omobaka before you start doing good. Because I did not get to this place for one day. In 2015 and 2026, in maturity, in wealth, in everything, it's pure different. You understand me? So in any level you are, just keep doing good.
Every time of Ramadan, and this time, glory be to God, the Christians are fasting, the Muslims are fasting. So most of all these people here, Christians are here, Muslims are here. He has been doing it for long ago. He has been doing it and will continue to do it. God will bless him. God will canopy him and his family. God will surely protect him. He will protect him long life.
Omobaka will come collect our fasting food every year. Now they do it for us. They give us food every year like that to do fasting. May they go up, may no come. Because some people get money pass them. They don't do this kind of thing when they do.
In another development, the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, Ìbà Gani Adams, has reiterated his readiness to lead his Southwest Security Stakeholders Group to collaborate with Southwest governors and indeed the federal government to stop the recurring incidences of insecurity across the region. Ìbà Adams said this in a statement on Friday while bemoaning the recent assassination of Oba Kehinde Jacob Falodun, the Alagamo of Agamo community in Akure North local government area of Ondo State by bandits. The traditional ruler, according to reports, was killed after he resisted attempts by the bandits to kidnap him. Describing the monarch's murder as tragic and embarrassing, Adams described the action of the bandits as a grave affront to the values of our society. Adams noted that the heinous act has again highlighted the alarming security challenges confronting Yoruba land and Nigeria at large. He called for a recalibration of Nigeria's security architecture, emphasizing the urgent need for a robust and coordinated security framework that can effectively address the recurring menace of violence and insecurity in the Southwest region. He specifically tasked the Southwest governors and the federal government on the need to collaborate with the Office of the Ariano Kakanfo and his team of Southwest Security Stakeholders Group, comprising of over 30 security-related subgroups, in a bid to stop the recurring incidences of insecurity within the region. Now, on a lighter mood, Ambassador Sunday Emmanuel celebrated his birthday in style in Lagos, with friends and well-wishers turning out in large numbers to mark the occasion. The event was a grand affair, with the celebrant looking every bit the dignitary he is, as the birthday celebration also served as a platform for the launch of a new healthcare product by Virgo NMN 1200. According to Sunday Emmanuel, who is the African representative of Dr. Virgo, the product is a game changer in the health and wellness space, boasting multivitamins and minerals that promote anti-aging and overall well-being. Guest speaker Dr. Salome Mbanaja, a health and safety professional, emphasized the need for government support in the healthcare sector. Dr. Mbanaja also called for increased awareness, partnerships and investment in the health sector, urging stakeholders to work together to put Nigeria on the path of progress.
It's always such an amazing day. It's a day that the world is celebrating me, be Ambassador Sunday Emmanuel. That today, that the world have come with all their heart, with all their mind to show love to me that you are viewing right now. That today is my D-Day, be my birthday. And that is why you see everybody here today to celebrate with me, to thank God for an amazing day like this that God have made a somebody like me to use me for the instrument to the world. Today we are launching our product called NMN. NMN product is an amazing product the whole world needs today. As an amazing anti-aging, and is a product that everybody need to have, because this product can help you to repair the damaged cells in your body system, and also it can build back your cells. Everybody, every human being that be in Africa today, because of one or two things we consume, the chemical things, that's something that is not even good to us to eat in our system, but we are taking them. Today, we have brought an NMN to the world that everybody needed to use this product to help you in your human life.
It's the NMN, so that's niacin mononucleotide. I spoke about it inside, the precursor. I spoke about NAD. This is one of the molecules in the body that helps us to build immunity, build strength, build our cells. So that product is very important. The Dr. Vigor NMN is very important. They have other products that are also important. The lotion, the 18,000 capsule. Go to your website, type in Dr. Vigor, and you see the products. Contact this organization. Contact Ambassador Emmanuel. Contact the organization. Get these products, because there are so many minerals and vitamins that we cannot get just with our balanced diet. You need supplements. That's why they're called supplements. You need them. So Nigerians, please be health conscious. And in addition to eating a good diet that has your vegetables being at least 1/3 of your plate, in addition to that, you need supplements, you need multivitamins, you need minerals to help you to live a vital and strong and healthy long life. It's not just about longevity, it's about the quality of life.
That's our flagship product. It's called the NMN, nicotinamide adenine mononucleotide. It's anti-aging product. This product can help us a lot because it works from the cell, and the cell is very important. The minute thing you have in the body that can control the entire system. If your cell has problem, the entire body has problem. And for us, somebody said take NMN so that you will live long. This product can help you take care of your entire body, and longevity is yours as long as you're taking NMN.
We're due for a short break. When we return, we'll bring you foreign news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now to foreign news. Iran's envoy to the United Nations, Saeed Iravani, says Tehran will respond decisively to any military aggression by the United States, in a letter urging the UN Security Council to condemn recent threats from President Donald Trump. Saeed Iravani called for members of the Council and UN Chief Antonio Guterres to act, noting in particular Trump's recent specific threat to use an airfield located in the Indian Ocean in the Chagos Islands in a potential attack on Iran. Iravani said given the volatile situation in the region and the persistent movement and build-up of military equipment and assets by the United States, such a belligerent statement by the President of the United States must not be treated as mere rhetoric. The Iranian envoy emphasized that his country neither seeks tension nor war and will not initiate any war. We'll take another short break, and when we come back, we'll bring you sports news. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now to sports news. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta challenged his players, spluttering to start writing their own destiny in Sunday's North London derby at Tottenham after losing control of the Premier League title race. Arteta's side held a commanding lead in their bid to win a first English title since 2004. But the leaders have allowed second-placed Manchester City to close within 5 points of top spot. City, who face Newcastle on Saturday, have a game in hand over Arsenal and will host the Gunners in a crucial clash in April. If Pep Guardiola's team win their remaining 12 matches, they will take the title regardless of Arsenal's results in their last 11 games. And that's the primetime news on Mitv. I'm Stella Opara. Thank you for watching. Good night.